Corpbiz.
The state pollution control boards and pollution control committees are responsible for implementing environmental legislation in the country. The SPCBs regulate industries, industrial process and businesses through the mechanism of consent management. Consent is mandated to ensure the adherence to pollution control norms. Today we will understand why. Hello and welcome to Corpbiz. My name is Shalin Verma and let's get right into this video. Now, site inspection is calculated at two stages during the business setup, that is before the establishment for which the consent to establish or CTE is granted, and the other NOC is granted before the starting of the operation. Here consent to operate is given. While CTE is required only once at the time of establishing a new unit or before carrying out expansion or modernization in the existing unit, CTO is granted for a specific period and needs to be renewed after a fixed period of time. The relevance of these pollution NOCs have risen with time and so has the regulatory provisions for their compliance. In 2012, a system of categorization was introduced on the basis of size and consumption of resources by these industries. However, in March 2016, the concept of pollution index scale was introduced by CPCB and industries were categorized as red, orange, green and white. Along with these changes, the relevance of site inspection grew as these changes and expansion of businesses needed a stricter mechanism to oversee the compliance to pollution norms. Now, site inspection is mandatory for projects or units in the first three categories, whereas the unit in the fourth categories or the white category don't require site inspection. Let's see the conditions where the site inspection will be done. These include prior to the issuance of CTE, prior to the issuance of CTO, before renewal of CTO, and when a public complaint is filed against the unit. But what is inspected during site inspection? Let's have a look. The role of site inspection by SPCBs and PCCs is crucial at the time of CTO when the project proponent is ready to start the operations. To inspect any unit or project, the time and date are conveyed to the applicant. The following factors are taken into account at the time of inspection. At the inspection stage, the site inspector visually inspects the plant periphery from the outside first. The officer assesses the emission status from the stacks and fugitive emissions. He then continues to look on the effluent discharge channels for any abnormality in the flow and discharge patterns. Next, after serving a notice of inspection to the occupant or the authorized personnel, after entering the plant, he gets the acknowledgement of the receipt of notices from the concerned person. At the next stage of the site inspection, the officer will take stock of operational status of various operations in the units which are potentially polluting and plan stack and AAQ monitoring activities to be conducted. The officer will then inspect the key processes that has the potential for air pollution, fugitive emissions or effluent generation. Next, the officer will verify the waste management aspects of solid waste, disposal sites, hazardous waste, storage, etc. and verify the water consumption figures and compliance status of consent. Next, the officer will verify the status of the plant and get acknowledgement from the representatives on notices intended for sample collection for air or effluent samples. In case of ETP, the officer will verify the logbook of the ETP operation, ascertain the operational status and ask for any other documents as deemed necessary. After the completion of site inspection, a brief meeting will be conducted with the senior level officials and management representatives, and appraisal will be done for all major deficiencies and lapses observed during the inspection. Any remedial measures will be suggested. Now, it is also important for businesses to understand the importance of site inspection. The implemented mode of industrial categorization indicated by red, orange and green color codes also defines the extent of inspection and the testing the unit will be subjected to. For instance, while granting consent, SPCB has to check that the unit has installed all required pollution control measures as per the category in which they fall. The site inspection by SPCBs and PCCs also ensure that any industrial facility doesn't come up in a restricted or controlled area. For instance, many businesses may perform any unauthorized operation in a facility which they are not authorized to as a part of their operation and produce any harmful industrial discards that are not easy to dispose of. Therefore, the board demands a detail of manufacturing process and a list of products that will be manufactured. Before issuing CTE2, the board has the authority to inspect the proposed site. Therefore, industries try to control pollution to comply with these norms and send reports to SPCBs periodically. Industries also hire laboratories to monitor pollution and submit quarterly data to respective SPCBs or as per the agreed compliance conditions. Some of these boards also own XGN software systems through which industries can report pollution levels on a monthly basis. After issuing the pollution NOC, the boards also regularly monitors these compliance by industries through periodic compliance reports. Under Air Act, Water Act, SPCBs can obtain information, take samples, enter and inspect, punish polluters and restrain the businesses for non-compliance. Apart from these inspections, the boards also have the power to give directions for stoppage, closure, disconnection of electricity too. A unit may need the assistance of certified environmental and licensing experts to deal with any such hurdle during the site inspection and resolve these queries faced in the process. So, if you need any assistance in this regard, contact our experts from Corpbiz through the details given below. Like and share this video if you found it helpful. Thank you for watching.